You can publish podcast with iblog.com.
Coming up next, What's Poppin'?
It's poppin'. It's poppin'. It's poppin'.
What's poppin', Korea? This is your DJ Lim here in the Dungeon Studio, and you are listening to TBS EFM. I have an announcement today. Today is my second day as DJ here on What's Poppin'. Oh my gosh, day 2. Such a huge milestone. What? You don't think that today is a milestone? Well, guess what? You're wrong, because today is actually our 200th episode. But how can that be, you're asking? What's Poppin' started in March, right? We have not even had 200 days since then. Well, I have an answer for you. Because before What's Poppin', this show was called The Drive-In, and it was about movies. I should know, I was an everyday listener. Well, that had 129 episodes. Today is our 71st episode of What's Poppin', so 71 plus 129 equals 200. Happy 200th episode, everyone, and happy second episode to me. Yay! Our show keeps on going and going and going and doesn't stop. That reminds me of our first song. Here's Keep On Truckin' by Eddie Kendricks. This is What's Poppin' with Lim, and we're on TBS EFM 101.3 in Seoul and the surrounding areas, and GFN 98.7 in Gwangju and 93.7 in Yeosu. There are many ways that you can get in contact with us here at What's Poppin'. You can text sharp 1013 for 51 charge. You can send us a tweet to @EFMPoppin. You can email us at efmpoppin@gmail.com, or you can send us a Kakao Talk message if you'd added TBS as a plus friend. And I would like to remind you that this week and next week, our show will not have open studios. Instead, we will be live on Fridays. Open studio will continue when Brian comes back from his vacation. And okay, so our word of the day has nothing to do with trucks, of course. But the theme of that song was that we just keep on going and going and going with no end. Because today is our 200th episode and we're still going strong. It's like we're going to be around forever. And that's what our word of the day is. Forever. Now, I know for sure that I'm not going to be here forever. Aww. And when Brian comes back, he's not going to be here forever because, come on, let's face it, we all have a finite amount of time here on the earth, right? So maybe sometime when Brian is like, let's say, 99 years old, finally he'll retire and then What's Poppin' will end. Yep, but no, our goal is to be on the air forever, or at least as long as possible. So our next song. If you guys remember last week, you got Rick Rolled, and the response was so great. So here's another hit from that man with the uncharacteristically low voice, Rick Astley. Here he is singing Together Forever. That was Rick Astley singing Together Forever. Wow, that man has a really low voice. But it's so distinctive. I wish I had a voice like that. Oh, what? No, wait. I don't mean I wish I had a guy's voice. Of course not. It means I wish I had a distinctive voice that everyone could recognize immediately as me, Lim. This DJ thing is hard. Anyway, it's Tuesday, so we're going to have Michael Jones join us in the second half of Poppin' for Poppin' Review. Mike will review an album from back in the day or from a few days ago. So who knows? Will he go old school or new school? Stick around for the second half to find out. Well, we don't know if Mike will go old school or new school yet, but we're definitely going old school with our next song. Let me take you down, because we're going to the 1960s, which is 3 decades before I was born. So this music is actually really ancient sounding to me. But that doesn't matter because it is still good. Here is John, Paul, George, and Ringo, better known as the Beatles, with Strawberry Fields Forever. That was the Beatles with Strawberry Fields Forever. And if you listen to that last part with all the backward stuff, at the end it sounds like someone said, I buried Paul. This was one piece of evidence that people like to use to point out that Paul McCartney had died, which was a huge rumor at that time. But it turned out to be a hoax, and Paul has outlived John and George. Nope. He's alive and well. But enough of all this old school stuff. We started off with a song from the 1970s. Then we moved to the 1980s, and then we went back to the 1960s. So let's play some stuff from my own lifetime. I want to play a song from June 2013. So up next is Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is actually the same age as me. I'm so surprised. And I really like her. She has a great fashion, and she's great. With her new single, We Can't Stop.
It's our party, we can do what we want. It's
Rock into music, lock into 101.3, and feel the vibe. TBS EFM.
You're listening to What's Poppin' on TBS EFM, and we'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
I'm a paparazzi.
2 years ago, actor Hyunbin joined the military at the height of his career, and a lot of people gave him lots of respect because he joined the Marines, which is considered to be the toughest branch of military service. Many other celebrities who join are believed to get preferential treatment, but he went into his service as if he wasn't a celebrity and volunteered for a very tough tour of duty. When he was released from the military in December, he had a press conference and he cried as he bowed to his supporters and the media. Well, it turns out that he didn't plan to shed tears at all. Nope, it was not a stunt. In a recent interview, he revealed that his intention was exactly the opposite. He said, "My plan failed. I couldn't control my emotions. I thought to myself that even if a situation like that arises, I was determined not to let myself cry, but I unknowingly shed tears. And even when I was giving my first bow, while bowing up my head and looking at the floor, I was already on the verge of tears, but I held it in. But maybe because my heart was so glad to return to my original place, I unknowingly shed tears. Honestly, I had a deep longing to act again. I think my heart realized it before my head. Wow, what a great guy. Good looking and great. I want to give my thanks to all the troops, not just celebrities, who are doing their military service. It is very honorable, and you are all doing your best to defend the nation, so everyone here at What's Poppin' gives our thanks to you. Thank you. And so, because our story was about Hyunbin today, our next song is, of course, 그 남자 by who else? Hyunbin!